Let's see. Who's in? Who's in? Who's in like Flynn? Frank Dicas dropping knowledge. Talking Papas live. We're talking Papas. I got two watching. Let's see. I got first and last out. Yay. That's right, baby girl Wendy. I don't know if you're still here. Shout out to you. Shout out to Jay Slaughter. I'll be back. All right, bro. Go ahead, man. Go get your chips. Go get your nachos. Whatever you're going to get, man. Hey, Mimi Ramirez, what's up, Mimi? Nice to see you. Shout out to Blue. Hey, you guys did an excellent job last night, ladies of Exposed Tube. I really enjoyed last night. It was really good, very interactive. I think that's the way to go. You guys did a great, excellent job. Last night was cool. I mean, it's always good, but last night it felt like you know, you guys are pros now. So shout out to you. Shout out to your families, Miss Yaya, and her family. God bless all of you, man. Hey, what's up, Torta Pounder? What's up, man? Chilling, bro. Katie Frizzle, nice to see you. Talking Papas, we're talking Papas. Mimi, J Slaughter, that's right, Mimi. Talking Papas. On a trip out Tuesday, man. Trip out. No, there's a lot of lingo that I don't even know if the kids use nowadays the way we used to use lingo. I remember we used to say trip out on this, trip out. Why are you tripping? Like trip was one of those words that you had to use like constantly. In tune better. Yeah. No, yeah, you guys definitely more in tune, but I just think that that's natural. Like the more you guys, chop it up, share ideas, get together behind the scenes to talk about things. It's all good. Yo, what's up, there? Hey, Kelly Big Dog, nice to see you, man. Hey, them soccer balls, bro. Yeah, I'm watching the games, man. I'm gonna be honest with you. I didn't want France to win. France just won the last game. I didn't want France to win. I'm tired of France. But shout out to anybody that's from French descent or in France. I don't know. The internet is so big. You could be in France watching and shit, talking about you're in LA. That's right, Kelly Big Dog. Katie, nice to see you, man. Hey, once again, thank you for supporting Kelly Big Dog. Everybody that supports my channel, that's watching. God bless all of you, man. Hey, that's right, Mimi. Cubo Franticas is that talking papacito with that knowledge you drop. Hey, we're talking papas over here, bro. Gotta love it or you gotta hate it, whichever one of the two. But I'm glad that you're here. I'm glad for everyone that supports my channel. Dicas in chat, the Hangman Stranger. God bless you, bro. Chilling, man. Talking papas. Frank Dicas dropping knowledge. Talking papas. On a trip out, man. Trip out Tuesday. We used to see that all the time, man. Hey, trip out on this, fool. And then we just go into whatever we were going to talk about, right? And, we would also be tripped out by things. See, I don't know if the kids use this lingo anymore. I don't know if the kids are using the lingo, bro. That's why, some shit we just got to bring back. Fuck it. you know? Some shit we just gotta bring back, like talking papas, like talking papas. We just gotta bring it. Make it a standard. I think that, shout out to Exposed Tube, ladies of Exposed Tube. Once again, excellent live last night. Shout out to everybody that supports ET, ladies of Exposed Tube. Go watch Sooners. He's dropping videos. Taco Sting goes live. He drops videos too. Right, Terps, everybody out there. Katie is in the house. What's up, Katie Frizzle? Nice to see you. Shout out to Katie. Everybody putting out their content, man. It's the Wild Wild West out here. It's the Wild Wild fucking West. Got people with agendas, people with false narratives. You gotta trip out. You gotta trip out on all that shit. It's Trip Out Tuesday. Frank Tica's dropping knowledge, talking papas. We're talking papas. I realize I'm getting older. I talk more papas now than I did in the past, but it is what it is. In the past, I really, I used to trip out on shit, but I wouldn't say shit. I just fucking keep it to myself. I don't live that way no more. Gracias a Dios. Gracias a Dios. Real quick, Frank D, because you got that talent with your videos and your spill on catching fake liars and manipulators. Much respect. Oh, hey, gracias, bro. Look, there's a lot more we could do and we're gonna do. As far as like exposed to ladies of exposed to all of us channels that are affiliated, in some way to the revolution. I was watching some stuff today. I was tripping out, bro. I was tripping out. See, that's the thing. Sometimes you gotta trip out. You can't be afraid to trip out on shit, on new shit. You can't. You gotta trip out. You gotta trip out. You'll learn a lot of shit. Sometimes against your will. Like TikTok, I learned that shit against my will. I learned about TikTok, how to maneuver through TikTok. I got a crash course on of TikTok by one of the members of the Exposed to movement. Shout out to Park, shout out to Oakland, everything. Man, they gave me like a crash course just so I can maneuver and watch shit. These kids made the word crack into a session. Yeah, really? Remember you could say that fool got cracked in the. Yeah. Yeah, bro. There's a lot of stuff. For example, hook up. Like, hook up. I used to be like, hey, let's hook up, but that didn't mean anything sexual. It was just meeting up. We should hook up or hooking something up, like the hookup. Like the hookup was, you get a good deal or you have a good connection. That's the hookup. But now when you sell someone, like, I remember straight up, like, this was like a couple of years ago. I was in a meeting. Bro. And and there was this woman there, and we started talking, getting along, whatever. And she's like, and she was telling me about like this organization that she has, like to help kids, whatever, right? And I'm like, oh, you know what? We should hook up because that's the type of thing that I'm into. Whatever I can do to help the youth, whatever. But when she heard the word hook up, she took it like, hook up. She's like, wait a minute, aren't you married? I'm like, well, how are you taking it? Like, hook up to me means just, let's get together, let's hook it up, let's set it up. Yeah, so there's a lot, Hey man, we gotta take back our words. Fuck that shit. But see, that's the way of the world. That's the way of the world. That's what I'm saying, man. Sometimes you gotta just listen, pay attention to what your kids are saying. Pay attention to what people are talking about. Because you might say something and it's taken completely out of context because the way it's being used now or the way certain groups use it might be totally different than how other groups use it or how you're used to using it. You gotta trip out on shit like that. And what's up, Iron Man Frankie? Yeah, nice to see you, man. Chilling, bro. We're chilling. We're chilling. That's right, Katie. You know, it's Trip Out Tuesday. I trip out on shit like that, man. I trip out on how shit changes. Like, the meanings of things change over time, depending on who's using it, how it's being used, like how it's being bent or manipulated in order to fit the lingo. I mean, we used to do that all the time as well. But like I said, hey man, it's Trip Out Tuesday. You gotta Trip Out Tuesday. We were talking on the collective the other night about emojis and shit like that. Then what I was saying is that's part of the language now. Like you can figure out how someone's doing just by like three emojis and shit. Have you tripped out on that shit? Like trip out. You gotta trip out on shit. Look, when you trip out on shit, you learn shit, man. And today I was tripping out on some shit. What you sipping on, Frank? Just water or something good? Nah, just water, bro. Water, bro. I've had a long fucking work day. I watched the last game. I drank some coffee. Just chilling, bro. Anyways, you gotta trip out on shit. You just gotta trip out. And like I said, today I was tripping out on some shit. I'm gonna share a video with you guys because I didn't even know. Like I had no idea. Like I was just tripping out. See, trip out. You gotta trip out. Trip Out Tuesdays. Frank Ticas dropping knowledge, stocking papas. Trip Out Tuesday. You gotta trip out on shit, man. Sometimes we're afraid to pick at people's brains, man. Sometimes we're afraid of opening up certain YouTube channels or reading certain things. We're afraid. I've made mention that I've run the gamut of religious books. Like I've read all kinds of books. There was a moment in my life in which I questioned everything. I was kind of mad at God. I was upset at God. I felt he wasn't working in my favor. I didn't understand how he worked. I read the Bible just to argue with people. I didn't really trip out on what it was all about. I was looking for my own, like, I was trying to put my ideas and mold my ideas into, like, the word. And so I read all kinds of things. I made mention that I've read Anton Levy. I think I've read Sun Tzu. I mean, I've read all kinds of shit. Machiavelli. I think you should trip out on shit more. You need to trip out on newer shit, different shit. You need to understand. No, like I've been telling you guys all of this time. A lot of times we're looking for opportunities. A lot of times we're looking for something to click in the cosmos that will open up like fame, fortune. Fuck the fame. I just want the fortune. Fuck that shit. Fuck the fame. I ain't trying to be famous. No. With fame come a lot of crazy. Look, I'm like barely even known on YouTube and I already got haters and fake profiles with my name and shit. Fuck. Imagine I could only imagine what it would be like to live in fear because you're so famous. You know what I mean? Hey, what's up, Taco Stains? I was to everybody in the chat. I'm at work tripping out. That's right, we're tripping out, bro. You gotta trip out. Hey. Sometimes you have to take time. Look, just scroll through YouTube and just fucking click on a video one day. Any fucking shit. Something that maybe you normally wouldn't watch. And just trip out. Just trip out. You guys got horchata de mordo there. I'm sure the kids like it, but can be sweet for us older people. I like horchata, bro, but like you said, it depends. Like you can sweeten it, and sometimes just like with the cinnamon and the chocolate that's already in it, some people put like leche condensada, which is like sweetened milk, condensated milk, a little bit in it, and that gives it sweet. So it depends on how it's sweetened, bro. I like horchata. We all like horchata. I prefer horchata de arroz, bro. That's right. Tacos are Iron Man. I'll be sipping later. All right, that's right. I'll be sipping later too, because I want to watch a couple of games, just chill. No, I'm giving English classes. Yesterday, I was watching Ladies of Exposed Tube and giving the class. So, we can multitask around here. Shout out to Ladies of Exposed Tube, man. They're always putting it down. You got to trip out. You got to trip out on them, man. We got to bring our words back. We got to bring up back our words, man. What's that? How can crack all of a sudden be used for like something sexual? That's kind of weird. That's what Torta Pounder said over here. These kids made the word crack into a sexual thing. Now that's kind of crazy. Like, how are you gonna make the word crack into something sexual? Like we remember, well, maybe because you don't see crack as much anymore. I mean, I know some people smoke crack still. Some people still making money off that crack. No, but I guess because it's not as popular as it was when we were growing up, maybe they can use the word crack for something else. I don't know, but that's kind of weird. Trip out on that shit. Let's see. Are the gente down there eager to learn English? Yeah, bro, they are. But what's funny is that the majority of my students are in the States. The majority of my students are in the States, bro. Like, they live in the States. They're trying to learn English. Like, they went over there with, like, some basic English, and now they realize they got to fucking talk. You know what I mean? So they call me up, and, hey, man, it is what it is. Miss Yaya, saludos, Frank and Chad. Love and respect. That's right, Miss Yaya. Saludos to you, to your family. Shout out to all your loved ones. God bless you, and you know what's up, Miss Yaya. You know what's up. That's right, Miss Yaya, Iron Man. Yeah, sometimes you gotta trip out. Now I'm gonna share a video with you guys because we were talking like I don't know if it was the collective before last where we were talking about someone that got assassinated with poison in an airport, and we were talking about that a little bit. No, we discussed who did it, right? All of that shit. Let's see. These damn kids are pushing it with that new Bammer sign. Hey, what's up, Jay Slaughter? Yeah, man. Hey, we got to take our words back. Fuck all that weird shit. You got to take our words back, man. We got to take them back to the 90s and shit. We were talking about a poisoning that went through at an airport, right? Remember that it was on a collective. I think I brought it up, but ET knew about it. He put the video. We were watching it. If you were on the collective that night, you know what I'm talking about. All right, give me a second, guys. All right, cool, cool, cool. Man, look, I'm multitasking over here. That's right. These damn kids are pushing it with that new Bammer slang. Hell yeah. Yeah, we got to bring that slang back. We got to bring that slang back. But today, we're going to say tripping out. We're tripping out. Tripping out Tuesdays. Frank Tica's talking papas. Frank Tica's dropping on his talking papas. Trip out Tuesday. Got to trip out. I'm going to share this video with you guys because I was tripping out on this shit. Because you know how the algorithm is. Them motherfuckers are listening to us. Like if I say right now, fucking pecan pie, I know that when I open up Google, I'm gonna have like 3 fucking ads of pecan pie. Motherfuckers are listening to us. Yeah, bitch, I'm talking to you. I know you're fucking looking at me through the camera too, bitch. Calling other men twin and loved one wasn't out. Yeah, fuck all that shit. That's the homie. Some people call them road dog. That's my road dog. That's my partner. My partner. That's my partner. That's my homie. That's my brother. That's my bro. That's my ace. The ace is even older than that. Ace. That's my ace, man. You know? That's my homie. That's my road dog. A lot of these words have been perverted now. It's fucking crazy. Yeah, I ain't gonna call no other man twin. Fuck that shit. That's the homie. That's my dog right there. That's my brother right there. You know what I mean? And I got a lot of brothers and sisters in the exposed tube revolution. Shout out to every single one of you. I'm always praying for every single one of you, for your families, for your welfare, for your well-being, for your prosperity, for your health, and all of those that rely on you. We're a big fucking movement. Like people don't realize just how many people are attached just to every single one of us. You know? Yeah, the women thought they were performing a prank for TV. Yeah. So, anyways, I want to show you guys this video that I was tripping out on, and I'm sure you're gonna trip on it too. Iron Man was cracking. Pinche Iron Man, man, you're funny, fool. Give me a second. Let me see if I can find it. Let me see if I can find it because I was looking at it as well. Let me see. Pleasure Squad. Yeah, Pleasure Squad. All right. So, if you guys go, so trip out on this. We're going to trip out together, okay? We're going to trip out a little bit together. Let's see. Gracias, Frankie. Igualmente, homie, prayers for you and your family as well. Gracias, Iron Man. At least St. Twin is better than Pizza Taco State. Let it go, brother. Let it go. That's right. Shout out to you, Taco Say, man. Hey, I know you want to go to war with these fools, man. But they don't want none, fool. They don't really want none. Come on, bro. You gotta trip out on that shit. You gotta trip out on how they move, eh? How they moving? Practicas dropping knowledge, talking papas. Hey, on a trip out Tuesday, you gotta trip out. You gotta trip out every now and then. We're gonna trip out on this video, man. Let me turn the volume down on these on my tunes over here. All right, man. That's right. Hey, Oakland, nice to see you. Oakland, everything. Oakland is in the house. Hey, shout out to you, Oakland. Shout out to you. Thank you for always supporting the channel, always supporting me. Everybody that supports me, shout out to you, man. If you haven't already done so, please hit the like. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. I drop content every day. I dropped a short today. Yesterday's video got some traction. I'm happy about that. Whenever I get more views than the subscribers that I have, I feel that I've done a good job. So, thank you guys for supporting me. Thank you guys for watching everything. Please hit the like. Please hit the subscribe. That's how you guys help me out. I want this channel to grow. I'm going to continue putting out content, doing these Talking Papas live every single day. As long as I am able to, I will do so. Hey, that's right, Sooners. I know you're tapped in, bro. Shout out to you, brother. Hey, Sooners, I got to tell you something, bro. Because you got to trip out. Hey, it's Trip Out Tuesday. It's Trip Out Tuesday, Sooners. You're going to trip out on this, bro. I'm gonna tell you something right now. I want everybody to hear this shit. Hey, Frank Dicas, dropping knowledge, talking papas. Look, my fingernails are still clean, bitch. I don't do a lot of hard work. That's why. That's right, students. I assure you, Ratas doesn't talk like that to his landlord, manager, or neighbors. That's all the show. Yeah, that's right, bro. Ratas probably speaks like a 1980s computer programmer with his glasses on like this. Look, bro, look. I'm going to tell you something, man. Sometimes we're going to code switch. No, if you are a bright motherfucker, if you're an intelligent motherfucker, you're going to fucking code switch sometimes. You're not going to talk the same way you talk to your friends, you talk to your family in a fucking board meeting. Right? You're not gonna hear me saying all the shit that I say on my lives if I'm in a fucking meeting. Right? So sometimes we're gonna code switch. And depending on where we are, we might change up a little bit how we speak. You know? So I believe that. I said all that to say this. I believe that shit. I'm pretty sure that that's what's fucking going on. Hey, man, you gotta trip out on shit like that. You gotta trip out. Frank Tica's dropping on. It's talking papas. Talking papas. On the Trip Out Tuesday. Hey, what's up, Hugo Torres? Frank Tica, saludos. Happy Tuesday. Hey, it's Happy Trip Out Tuesday. We're gonna trip out. We're gonna trip out, man. Yeah, ain't nothing wrong with code switching for the feria or to be presentable. Hey, sometimes you got to do it. And I'm letting you guys know, don't fucking trip if you fucking got a code switch. Fuck it. You got to do what you got to do. You got to make your money. That's biblical too. See, a lot of people don't understand that a lot of this stuff is biblical. Because what does the Bible say? Hey, man, you got to cry with those that cry. You got to laugh with those that laugh. You got to act a certain way with those that act a certain way. You got to be a certain way with those that are a certain way. Sometimes you just got to be able to speak in their language. It is what it is. I call my boss. Call him your roll dog, Taco. Hey, you're my roll dog, and tell him to let you fucking get a raise, bro. Fuck. Tell your boss, hey, twin. Hey, twin, can I get another 20 twin? Just stacked up on my check. Hey, I know you got it, Taco. Frank Ticas, dropping knowledge, talking papas, live. Trip Out Tuesday. Gotta trip out sometimes. I'm about to play the video, but we ain't trying to act like a legend. Nah, bro, look, man. So before we get into the video, I'm about to turn it on. Everybody that knows me, everybody can go back to my first fucking video. Those of you that are on social media that have me on fucking Instagram and Facebook, hey, Sooners, that's what I'm gonna. I don't know if Sooners is still watching, bro. Hey, sooner someone tried to get at me saying that they were you to try to add you, or trying to get me to add them on a platform where you and I are already cool. You know, you guys got to be careful, man. If you guys get some friend requests, you got to trip out on that shit. You got to trip out. These fools ain't trying to. These fools are no joke, Sooners. They put your name on a user and try to get me to accept you on a platform where you and I already get down. Isn't that crazy? That's crazy. It's fucking crazy. Hey, it's Trip Out Tuesday. Frank Tica's dropping knowledge, man. All up on your ass. Oh, that was? Oh, man. Come on, bro. Hey, you know what? Hey, I'm glad I let you know then. All right, cool. Now, hey, then try to add me again. I keep it real, though. I keep it real. No, and I think that that's what people don't fucking seem to realize, man. Like, I don't have any fear in my heart that anything outside of who I am, who you see, who you know, can be disclosed. No problem. And once again, those of you that have me on social media, you guys can trip out on all my shit. You guys can trip out on it. You guys can trip out. I'm not a fucking public, I'm not a private person. I mean, I'm obviously my Instagram, Facebook profile. I got them on private, but if I know you, I'll fucking add you. I don't give a fuck about that shit. And you guys can go through my shit. And whoever went through my shit and gave these motherfuckers my pictures, hey, God bless you. You know, I hope it was worth it. Whatever you got from that. No, whatever fucking pleasure, whatever attaboy, whatever ego stroke you got from sharing my pictures when I was a kid, I shared that shit. And you know what's even funny is that those fees, I don't even have that fucking yearbook. A homegirl of mine sent those to me because those are the type of friendships I have. I have friendships with people that were with me in sixth grade. I've got friendships with kids that were with me in kindergarten, man. If you guys go to the fucking news report that Univision did on me, not the video, look for the fucking article. As a matter of fact, I might pin that article here to this video. Because apart from doing a video on us like that, they actually did a whole fucking expose on Univision online on their fucking page. And there's a picture of me right there when I was in fucking elementary school. And about four of those kids that are in that picture, I still talk to. Like, you guys can make up all the shit you guys want on me. But I've got a whole lifetime of witnesses that will let you know that your narratives ain't about shit. Trip out on that, bitch. Frank Ticas, talking papas, talking papas. I remember when I was in ninth grade, this black girl, like, we were in ninth grade already. I was already fucking up. I was starting to fuck up. And this black girl came up to me. She was a cool homegirl of mine before, but I had drifted away because I was starting to do stupid shit on the street. And she told me, she's like, you don't look the same, you don't act the same. Something's going on with you, but I'm praying for you. And back then, I didn't understand it. I wasn't tripping on that shit, but now I'm tripped. Hey, it's Trip Out Tuesday. Trip Out Tuesday. Frank Tica's dropping on sucking papas. I'm gonna share a video with you guys right now. Let me just read the comments. All right, Sooners. Now I know it was. Hey, bro, I gotta take my precautions. You know what I mean? Salute everyone. What's up, unknown? Nice to see you, man. Thanks so much for stopping by. Like Smalls always says, better safe than sorry. That's right. ¿Qué onda, señor Ticas? Aquí seguimos firme apoyando el canal como siempre. Respeto y 100 y bendiciones, cipote. That's right, homie. Hey, you know. Respetos a todos en el chat. Ya saben cómo nosotros hacemos esto todos los días. Yo vengo en vivo a hablar papas, a hablar potatoes, talking papas all up in your grill, bitch. You better trip out on this shit. If you haven't already done so, please hit the like. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. All right, I'm gonna share this video with you guys. It's a fucking trip though, because I wasn't even looking for that shit. it just fucking happened to come up, and like I said, I know that the algorithm listens to us, so that's probably what happened. Let me go ahead and share this video with you guys. That's right, Miss Yaya. Let me go ahead and share this video with you guys, and then we're gonna talk some real shit. You know, you're gonna trip out on some of the real shit we're gonna talk. And I may fucking ruffle some feathers with that real shit I'm gonna talk. But I have no fucking worry about it, because I think that anytime you speak truth to power, and sometimes power is the common interpretation of things, I don't believe in respecting the status quo. That's not who I am. I'm a disruptive human being. In the name of Jesus Christ, I disrupt. Trip out on that shit. You know? So I want you guys to watch this video. I think it's a very important video. It's a short video. I'm going to read a little bit to you about what she's talking about. And then I'm going to go off on a little fucking, rant. If anybody wants to jump on, you can go ahead and do so. I'm about to share the link. This video is 5 minutes, 51 seconds long. I'm not going to stop it. I just want you guys to hear, okay? I want you guys to hear this. And I want you to, and after that, we're going to talk. And I'm gonna say some shit. And I don't care if I ruffle feathers. I'm going to be straight up with you. You guys already know how I get down. You know, I speak truth to power. I give you my point of view. If anybody has a differing point of view to what I'm going to say after this video, and after I read a little bit about it, if you have a differing point of view, go ahead and put it on the chat. We can discuss it. You can jump on and challenge me. That's okay. But I want you guys to first listen to this, and then I'll read what I found online. Like I said, sometimes you just got to trip out. Sometimes you got to give yourself an opportunity to learn something different, to be able to see things from a different point of view. Just because you're not living it doesn't mean it's not happening. And having said that, let me go ahead and play this video.
Kim Jong-un was young and naive. Kim Jong-un's father, Kim Jong-il, loved the pleasure squad. So, Kim Jong-un's biological mother was not able to be loved by his father.
Okay, so let me just go back. I'm going to put some emphasis on what she just said. Look, she said Kim Jong-un's father, Kim Jong-il, loved the pleasure squad. Okay, I want you to keep that in mind. Okay, that is what I want you to look at. That's what I want you to keep in mind. I want you to hear everything this woman is going to say. As a matter of fact, I'm going to repeat it. But I want you to keep in mind the term pleasure squad. Okay, and look at who we're talking about. Okay, now this video is called North Korea Kim Jong-un's Pleasure Squad Execution Case. Okay, so somebody was executed over this pleasure squad. All right, so I want to play it one more time. I just wanted to point those things out. I wanted you to trip out on that shit. Hey, Frank Ticas dropping knowledge, talking papas. Hey, Trip Out Tuesday. I want you to trip out on that. Okay, we're talking about Kim Jong-un, talking about the pleasure squad, and we're talking about this being an execution case. We're going to start from the beginning. Let's go.
Kim Jong-un was young and naive. Kim Jong-un's father, Kim Jong-il, loved the pleasure squad. So, Kim Jong-un's biological mother was not able to be loved by his father. We'll check the facts. Hello everyone, this is Kaeva, all knowledge of the world. In 2014, the world was shocked since Kim Jong-un executed his uncle, Jang Song-taek. There were
All right, so he executed his uncle. That's the execution part of the case. So he executed his own uncle in 2014. And that was on the news. Now, there were various reasons given, but no one talked about this pleasure squad shit. So that's what I want you to trip out on.
since Kim Jong-un executed his uncle, Jang Song-taek. There were two reasons. First was that he didn't applaud. Second was that he planned conspiracy. However, there's another real reason. Asia, including Korea, China, etc., tend to hide women issues. Kim Jong-un executed his uncle Jang Song-taek, and Jang Song-taek was the one who crowned young Kim Jong-un as king.
So he executed the uncle that crowned him. Okay, I just want you guys to trip out on that shit.
Kim Jong-un as king. He is also the one who protected Kim Jong-un. However, Kim Jong-un executed him. Why? Because Jang Song-taek possessed Kim Jong-un's pleasure squad without permission. His uncle Jang Song-taek was a playboy. Let's fact check. Jang Song-taek visited South Korea, and to the government officials of Korea, he requested an important thing. He wanted to visit South Korea's room salon. Korea's salon is a luxury meeting room with women. His uncle Jang Song-taek intervened in the pleasure squad without Kim Jong-un's permission. The pleasure squad, which was prepared for Kim Jong-un. At that time, Kim Jong-un was young and
So the pleasure squad is a harem. Okay, it's women that are selected for the pure purpose of entertaining and providing pleasure to these high officials. Now, the leader, obviously, of the country, that was his pleasure squad. But his uncle was tripping out. That fool was tripping. Trip out Tuesday, trip out Tuesday. Frank Ticas dropping knowledge, talking papas. Man, trip out. That fool was tripping. He started tripping. No, he felt that because he had crowned this kid, because he had made him the king, that it was okay for him to, wet his whistle, get his beak wet with the pleasure room.
naive. He had no mind to have many women. However, his uncle liked the pleasure squad. And among the pleasure squad, there was Hyun Song-wol, a singer. Jang Song-taek even tried to have a relationship with Hyun Song-wol, and Hyun Song-wol risked her life to tell the truth to Kim Jong-un. Hyun Song-wol told Kim Jong-un that your uncle is trying to touch me. Kim Jong-un's father, Kim Jong-il, loved the pleasure squad. So, Kim Jong-un's biological mother was not able to be loved by his father. Accordingly, Kim Jong-un didn't like the pleasure squad. His only favorite pleasure squad was Hyun Song-wol. Kim Jong-un made the rest of the pleasure squad to live as real artists who play music and dance.
Right.
The surface reason.
So what happened here? Just in case, I know some people may be having a hard time with their English. So what she's basically saying is that Kim Jong Un he didn't really care for the pleasure squad like his father did, because his father was so mesmerized and enthralled. Remember? by the pleasure squad that he didn't show affection to his mom. So Kim Jong Un was like, you know what? Fuck all you bitches. Basically, you're going to be artists, you're going to be singers, you're going to be all of this. I only care about this one chick amongst all you. But that one chick that he was interested in, his uncle was trying to touch and was trying to get, obviously, gratification from.
Was that Jang Song-taek plotted treason. However, the real cause was that he touched the pleasure squad women who were prepared for Kim Jong-un. So Kim Jong-un secretly arranged and eliminated his uncle bloody-handedly. We'll check the facts. In Asia, such as Korea, China, etc., women issues are not open to the public. Park Geun-hye is the first female president of South Korea. Her father was Park Chung-hee. He was in the power for 18 years. Do you know how and why was he murdered by assassination? In Asia, the president is still considered a king because of past culture. South Korea's President Park Chung-hee had relationships with about 200 young women. Public officials of intelligence agency secretly took the charge of bringing the women. The intelligence agency agents and the deputy director of intelligence were shameful about this. Public officials at South Korea's intelligence agency were enraged. It was no longer the dynasty era of the past. They watched their president Park Chung-hee ruin so many poor women's lives.
All right, so in South Korea, the president tried to do the same thing, but they were beyond that. They had transcended those practices. They had transcended having groups of women that they can just have at their disposal for whatever they wanted. So when they saw that their president was doing this, look, it says ruin so many poor women's lives, they ended up executing them.
So they set golden peanuts on the 18 years dictator's head while he was playing with young women.
Now, when she said golden peanuts, this is what she means, right? If you guys are watching, these are, she said golden peanuts because of where she's at. But this is what she's talking about. She's talking about golden peanuts were put in his head while he was playing with women, so the Secret Service took him out.
Park Chung-hee was hit with golden peanut in front of the young women and was killed. This is the picture of the secret club where the president was staying with the women.
Look, that's the guy that took him out right there. You see how he pulled out the gun?
Since the president was doing evil, the public officials at the intelligence agency got rid of the president by the golden peanut. However, the deputy director of intelligence and the civil servants of the intelligence agency were all sentenced to death and were executed.
So all the guys that took part in eliminating the president because of what he was doing, they were all executed as well.
North Korea is being ruled by Kim dynasty for 3 generations. However, North Korea has already collapsed. There are some elites who look up to Kim Jong-un. They are doing the last Hollywood show. Strange things will happen in North Korea in a little while.
All right, let me go ahead and stop sharing. That's crazy, huh? So I just wanted you guys to trip out on that a little bit. We're gonna talk a little bit about that. Let me go ahead and catch up with the chat over here. Let's see. The old pleasure squad to firing squad pipeline. That's right. Kim Young Il Man. What's up, peaceful? Cubo Frank T and fam all in the house. Yeah, man, we're on the chat. Saludos. What's up, man? Yeah, man. Hey, trip out on that shit. So, like I said, I mean, I know the algorithm showed me that shit because we were kind of talking about it, about that line, that side of the world, those particular people, that particular country. But that is not isolated to just Korea. And if you guys really trip out, then what's going on right now in the States with the whole Epstein thing? I don't. You can believe what you want to believe, but they went to war. A war was started to try to take the attention off of this type of shit. North Korea, a whole planet. Yeah, look, brother. There are countries, there are places in the world that are totally different than what you and I would know, as far as culture, as far as what's acceptable, as far as what's allowed, what's not allowed. A lot of times, like we were talking about yesterday with our myopic vision, we only see what's going on around us, but we don't know how these other things, like what we just talked about, have implications. They have implications in the world and what happens moving forward. No, some people are just going to say, oh, the Epstein thing, whatever, it's no big deal. It is a big deal because there's a lot of fucking movers and shakers involved in that. And in order to keep their name private, to keep them out of harm's way, out of the law's reach, a whole fucking war was started. And if you guys saw that video I just played at the very beginning, what the girl said is that a lot of time women issues are not brought to the forefront. But many issues, world issues even, wars have been started over women. Now, I'm not saying that's good or bad. I'm just saying that that's real. Got to trip out on that shit. In the sangre de Cristo, yeah, the blood of Christ, bro. Is she saying North Korea is crumbling? Yeah, she's saying that, but I think because she defected, she's a defector. I think it is in ways because of how they move. Like they're kind of desperate to get attention. That's just my idea. I don't know. Now, I was reading, that led me to read about that pleasure squad. Now, it's called Kipumjo in Korean. Kipumjo. Now, it refers to an unconfirmed group of an estimated 2,000 women and girls maintained by the North Korean regime. Established in the 70s, they're handpicked individuals are reportedly used for entertainment, personal service, and you guys know what's up by top officials. Now, don't think that this is a situation where these women go and apply. No, 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 no. Government officials go scouting. They go scouting for these women. And if it's the government, and it's the type of government that you guys already know, these women pretty much don't have much of an option of whether they are going to be in the pleasure squad or not. Let's see. Trump was named spontaneously more times. Yeah, exactly. Pretty much, bro. Trump is well established on. Yeah, that's right. That's right, Max. Ticas and familia. Saludos. Hey, nice to see you, Max. Nice to see you. Shout out to you. We're talking papas. We're talking papas. Frank Ticas dropping knowledge. Trip out Tuesday. Little bit of a message, little bit of knowledge, as you all know. If you haven't hit the like, please do so. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. Now, this is not isolated to North Korea. This is not isolated to South Korea. I mean, the states have a problem with this. And I'm pretty sure most countries do, where the lives of women are not taken seriously. They're treated as objects, as things that belong to men and can be used in any way, shape, or form that men want them to be used. And I don't agree with that shit. Straight up. Wendy girl, that's right, that's right. Peaceful, Wen Bonita, that's right. I don't agree. I don't agree. I'm not down. I'm not down for any woman to be treated or subjected to such barbarity. But as we speak, there are women going through it at the hands of men. What's up, Max? Nice to see you. Is Wendy here? Wendy, I can't see you. Yeah, she was here early, I guess, not right now. And I was tripping out on that shit. I was tripping out on just how much women have to endure and put up with. Straight up. And this is the part where I think I'm gonna ruffle some fucking feathers, and I don't give a fuck. And I don't give a fuck about the narratives that you motherfuckers place on me. I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna speak straight up. I'm gonna be straight up about what I think. This is Trip Out Tuesday, tripping out, talking papas. But this portion, I'm not really talking papas. I'm gonna explain to you what I think and how I feel about the disrespect towards women. I know that there's even women that are against some feminist movements and expressions. And I can agree that in every movement, there are extremes. There's always extremes. And you have to watch out for those extremes. And then if you know those extremes, sometimes you just cut them out and make sure you disassociate yourself and keep it moving. Nah, Calo, I'm not feeling the insane excuse made for Trump. He's been accused of rape since the last announcement because they want silencing. What? Yeah, man, I don't believe it either, bro. That's right, Jay Slaughter. That's right, Mags. When I hear people complain about when there are what are these called, protests, when there are protests, okay, when people complain about what is done in a protest, how people are dressed, the type of signs they put up, the type of damage that they do. Sometimes they vandalize, sometimes they break shit, sometimes they set shit on fire. That's right, Sunshine Valentine. Nice to see you. I can understand why people would look at that and be offended by it. Extremes can be a good thing, Frank. Extreme conditions, yeah, yes. But see, they have to be well thought out and studied, is what I think. There are extremes that are positive. I agree, but there are also some extremes where it's like, wait a minute, you got to backtrack a little bit and make sure you're fucking going in the right direction, because you might just be going into a destructive mode as well. But when people complain sometimes about like feminist, like the type of feminist women or feminists, those that back up the feminist movement, that spray paint, that talk shit, they dress a certain way, they go out on the street, and they do all of this. I can understand how you in your community, because you're not living it, you're not seeing it, see it as exaggerated. You may see it as something. What's up, Sunshine? Nice to see you. Shout out to Mike as well. Thank you guys for supporting. Thank you guys for watching. But when you look at what's happening in many countries, and not just other foreign countries, look at what's happening in the US with this whole Epstein thing. You guys think there aren't any more Epsteins out there? Any more Weinsteins out there? You think there aren't any more? You think there aren't any in smaller, more, enclave, more, what is it? In smaller regions, maybe in churches, maybe at schools, maybe at jobs where the power dynamic is such where a man can take advantage of a woman. You guys think that this shit doesn't exist? You guys think that it doesn't go on? You guys think women aren't being harassed constantly? Because if you guys can tell me with a straight face, if you can jump on or leave a comment saying women are not getting harassed, women are not getting attacked, women are not being victimized by men, they don't need to do all of this way out shit when they protest. If you can tell me that with a straight face, I'm going to have to turn your attention to what we just saw. There are whole fucking countries where the government has a focus on getting women into these fucking groups for government officials to take advantage of. It's institutionalized. So as long as there are countries where women are sexualized by force and taken by force, systematically by governments, I cannot stress how important it is to fight against that shit. Straight up. Look, it's not necessarily an extreme, always a problem, but posers versus, yeah, yes. That I agree with. That's what I'm saying. It's got to be rooted in fact and in truth. If you're going to be an extremist, but you're being an extremist because it's rooted in fact, it's rooted in truth, you're not driving a different agenda, makes sense. Those types of people are everywhere. Monsters are real. Yes. Yes, they are. They're at church. They're at schools. They're at bands, band camps, sports. I mean, how many doctors, dentists have not been found to have, while they have their patient knocked out, they grope them and take advantage of them. I mean, and these are people that we're supposed to trust. Max, Squatchy, howdy, folks. That's right. These fools are seeing a cartoonish form of it, handpicked specifically to be controversial and shun people from pursuing civil rights. They want to make it seem fake and lean to fight for freedom. Yeah, and I don't agree to that. And that's why I can take movements such as the Exposed to Revolution seriously. For others, it may be entertainment, fun and games, ha ha ha, he he he. Get a chuckle out of it. It's entertaining. I'm kind of bored. Fuck it. I'll tune in. These fools are talking shit. I mean, if it's all that to you, cool. And if that makes you a supporter, cool. But if you ask me why I get involved, why it bothers me to see these idiots online talking shit, attacking women, and they can say, oh, it's just games. It's just the fucking internet. You guys fucking take it seriously. It's entertainment. Man, fuck you. There are people fleeing countries. There are countries they were born in, leaving their families, leaving everything because some idiot decided to put his eyes on a woman and use all of his power, all of his might to get his way. That's real life. Just because it's fucking foreign to you does not mean it's not happening. Yes, sir, that's 100%. That's right, Salud. That's right, Terps. Nice to see you, Terps, Sasquatch. Good to see you guys. Frank Ticas dropping knowledge, talking papas on a trip out Tuesday. We're talking some serious shit. We're talking some serious shit. I don't give a fuck. You know, we were talking about comedians once on the collective as well. That's right, Machete. You know, some people have their favorites. I'm pretty sure George Carlin ranks high. But I also like Dave Chappelle. I like Dave Chappelle. I don't like all of his specials. There are some where it's like, whatever. It wasn't that funny. Sorry, Mr. Machete, saludos y respetos. But I don't know if it was. I don't know which comedy special it was on, and I'm gonna look for it. And if I find it, I'll probably share a clip on my community tab in which he said this. I'm gonna paraphrase because I don't remember it word for word. Okay, but I want you to trip out on this. This is Trip Out Tuesday. Trip out on this shit. He said that one time he went to this gig, right? They had invited him to this gig. He performed very well, so well that they tipped him, like they just tipped him extraordinarily. And the club paid him handsomely to where he walked out of that club with 25 G's. 25,000 is pretty good money for a night. I mean, it's pretty good money for a month, right? Well, fuck it. He got 25,000 one night. And he had to travel by subway. And he says he remembers walking around with that money, had to leave the club at night, walk the streets late at night. This is New York. Get on the subway, go home with $25,000 in his pocket. Josh Wolf is hilarious. He's a great comedian. All right, I'm going to check him out. And then he turned around and said this. He said, I was walking around with $25,000 from the club, through the streets, on the subway, to my house, and I was glad I made it safe. I was praying the whole way that nobody fucking jacked me. You know? Well, imagine carrying $25,000 in public transportation. That's crazy. It's fucking crazy. Hey, thank you so much, Sunshine. 200 joules, man. I don't even know what that is, but thank you so much. I've had soccer balls. So, thank you so much, Sunshines, for supporting my channel. Thank you, everybody, for being here. If you haven't hit the like, please do so. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. So Dave Chappelle said, I walked the streets, went on the subway, $25,000. I was happy I made it home safe. And then he said this, and that shit tripped me out. It fucking tripped me out. And ever since he said that shit, I have not been able to get that thought out of my mind. And I want to share it with you guys. Because what he said was, imagine how a woman feels walking around on her own every fucking day. Every fucking day. Knowing she has something more valuable than $25,000. And she doesn't know how or where someone might come up and try to take that shit. You know, and sometimes we like to talk, we like to say, you know, that we're about it, that, you know, we love our mom, we love our families, woo, woo, woo. but we treat women like shit. I'm talking as a from a man's point of view in general. I don't do it. I've learned. I'm glad that I'm no longer in a place, where I disrespect women. But if you consider yourself a player, man or woman, you're disrespecting the other person. So it is disrespectful. I stopped doing all that shit. But do you really respect other women? Like, do you really respect women? Do you really respect their privacy? Do you respect them as equals? Do you treat them with respect? Or when you talk to women, are you thinking about how to get to them? Gotta trip out on that shit sometimes. And unfortunately, and if anybody wants to chime in, any of the women that are in the chat listening to this, you guys can chime in. Anybody can jump on. Let me go ahead and share the link again. It's already pinned. If you want to talk about it, I'm not going to be on here too much longer, but I did want to knock this out. Trip out on that. Yeah, you got to trip out on that shit, man. You got to trip out on everything, man. Do you really understand? I could never understand, but I have a bit of an idea as to how fucked up it must be to constantly be on your fucking toes. Worried. As a father of a young lady, man, I trip out on a lot of videos. Hey, it's Trip Out Tuesday, Trip Out Tuesday. Frank Tika's dropping knowledge. Trip Out Tuesday. And I think about all of that, man. I think about all of those things. I trip out on it now. Because until you understand just how tough women really do have it, you can continue to be oblivious and act a fool and treat women like shit when what you should be doing is fucking protecting them and putting them on a pedestal. You see a bunch of random bloggers and pundits and influencers echoing billionaires' monopoly rights and avarice activist propaganda. Been traced back to dark money tech oligarchs trying to make bootlegging. Yeah, straight up. Seem organic. I trip out on myself. Okay. I do too, bro. I trip out on myself as well. I trip out on myself a lot, man. But I want you guys to trip out on that shit. I mean, honestly, there's a lot of bullshit going on all around the world. Just because you don't see it, just because it doesn't affect you, just because it hasn't touched you, does not mean that it's not happening. Whoever's trying to jump on, I already let you guys know. If you want to jump on, you better fucking put it on the chat. Put it on the chat that you want to jump on. My moderators are watching. And then you can jump on. If I know who you are, if you're a part of the crew, if you're a part of the revolution, you guys have free entry and we can chop it up all day long. Anybody I don't know, fuck that shit. And whoever was trying to jump on, you better ask in the chat. That's why it seems like there's a huge contingent fighting against livable wages, affordable housing, anti-monopoly laws, billionaire tax against their own interests. They are paid puppets and bots. Yeah, bro. And you know what? A lot of times they also talk shit about women. Straight up, straight up. I trip out on that shit. I trip out on just how bad. I mean, let alone being a minority. I mean, being a minority is fucked up on its own. But imagine being a woman and a minority. That's some fucked up shit. And some people don't get it. And by trying to align yourself with the power construct, does not guarantee that they will respect you. And that's what's going on with what Jay Slaughter is talking about. That's why it seems like there's a huge contingent fighting against livable wages, affordable housing, all of these things. And a lot of the people that are pushing those things need those things, but they've been brainwashed. I trip out on shit like that. Real G's respect women, everybody gets respect, but the ladies always get extra. That's the code. That's right, Machete. But you would be surprised, and I'm sure that you're aware and you've seen how all these other fools get down. Like talking straight up shit. Now, don't get me wrong, and I want to clear this up very well. Okay, I want to clear this up. I want to make sure people understand. If you have a problem with someone personally, someone that you know, man or woman, and you have a history and you've been clashing, that's a whole different thing. You know, if you guys talk shit to each other and can keep it at just talking shit, fuck it, talk shit. You know, you're fucking equal. Both of you can talk shit to each other. Once it gets physical, that's when you take action. That's how I see it. But I could be wrong, and if you have another thought process, let me know. No, because a lot of times people come and ask, how come you don't defend so and so? How come you didn't defend so and so? Usually they're talking about women. How come you didn't defend so and so? Because it's defender or defend them from what? From an argument? From them also talking shit? Like if you talk shit, you're gonna get shit talked back to you. That's all it is, talking shit. And if there's a history, if there are insults, if there's disrespect, that's a whole different thing. But I'm talking about like straight up abuse and using your power to control, to gaslight, and to dominate who you consider to be the weaker sex. That's some bullshit. Nobody's down for that shit. Fuck that shit. Straight up. Some people won't ever stand up for anything, so it's convenient for them to believe that those who are paid actors or fakes. I agree. I believe that. Driving home from work, that's right, Oakland. Thanks so much for listening and just being a part. Fear of the Dark, what's up, Frank? How's it going today? What are you guys talking about? What's up, Fear of the Dark? We're talking a little bit about tripping out on shit. You got to trip out on shit sometimes. Tripping out Tuesday, but I played a video, Fear, and you can look it up if you guys can. I'm gonna put it right here. Pleasure Squad. Okay, look up Pleasure Squad, North Korea. Now, obviously, so it's right there. You guys, so look if you look that up. I ain't fighting with no woman. Hell nah, mama didn't raise no food. That's right. If you look up Pleasure Squad North Korea, you're going to know exactly what I'm talking about, Fear of the Dark. And what I was saying is that this is not isolated just to North Korea, because if we look at the whole Epstein shit, it's pretty much the same fucking thing. You know? It's pretty much the same fucking thing. And what I was talking about, Fear, just so you can catch up, is that if we're really about respecting women, we have to be able to call some shit out, but we also need to clarify. You know, now if I have beef with a woman and she's mad disrespectful, I might disrespect. But disrespecting someone verbally because they're cussing at you or they're trying to get at you or they already did some shit that you know is fucking questionable, you might have an argument and you might say some crazy shit. But saying something to actually putting hands on gaslighting, dominating, abusing, and doing all of these things, that's a whole different other thing. If you're not disrespecting them because they're a woman, it's completely different. Yeah, it's different because if you did something dirty to me and you're a woman, I'm going to talk shit to you. Like if you try to get at me, like look, I'm going to give you guys an example. I don't know who in my social media took some of the pictures that I put out there cuz I put out, that's why I don't give a fuck. I put out some pictures on my social media and gave it to the ops. Is it women? I don't know. Was it a man? I don't know. Either one of them, if I find out, I'm talking shit to either one of them, man or woman. I'll talk shit. And I may cuss you out. But that's a whole different thing to what we're talking about here. And what we talk about when we talk about protecting women and children. What are we protecting them from? From these fucking perverts, from you fucking weirdos that come online talking shit. And the first thing you do is talk about women. And that goes from fucking ratas, skittles, all the way down to all you fucking weirdo trolls. Fuck all of you. That's right, Terps. Hey, Mag, J Slaughter. Nice to see you, Terps. You gotta trip out on that shit. You gotta trip out. Sometimes you gotta trip out on things, man. Look, I did not know about this. Like I said, I think the algorithm just shot me that video, and I was clicking through, browsing through fucking YouTube, and I seen that shit, and then I saw some other shit. But I'm not gonna share that video because it's fucking long. I might, I keep saying I'm gonna share the links, and I don't share it. But let me go ahead and pull it up. Just give me 1 second, because there was another video. Now this one is much longer. Okay, I'm just gonna show you guys. Okay, I'm just gonna share it to show you guys because it's about the same thing. Okay. Now, this video in particular, if you look at the title, it says why a girl had to take her pants off while escaping from North Korea. This video is 22 minutes long. It's not too long. Okay, but the reason why this girl and her family escaped North Korea was because of the pleasure squads that we were talking about. Because once a government official put their eyes on these people, on these women, that was it. They belonged to the government, and there was nothing you can do. There's nothing. I mean, this is shit that goes on right now. It's going on right now. It's not something that happened 10 years ago. It's fucking happening as we speak. That's right, Kelly Big Dog, Terps, Max, Terps, Machete, Kelly Big Dog, Oakland Sasquatch. That's right. Shout out to everybody that's supporting the channel. All of you guys that have made, those sunshine donations and soccer ball donations. Really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for being here. If you haven't already hit the like, please do so. If you haven't already subscribed, please do so. Frank Tica's dropping nuggets, talking papas, talking papas. Trip out Tuesday. Sometimes you gotta trip out on shit. I trip out on shit, and I learn things I didn't know about. I did not know about this till today. I did not know about it. It doesn't surprise me. It's not something that I would, that I can't fathom. Obviously, I can fathom this shit because I know it happens. It's part of the same dynamics that happen whenever there's an imbalance in the power structure or there's abuse in the power structure. We saw with Weinstein. We saw with fucking what's this fool's name? Fucking paperwork. I just mentioned it a bunch of times. No, there's all kinds of conspiracies going on right now. And the biggest victims usually happen to be women. And sometimes people don't want to hear that shit. I get criticized all the time, and I don't give a fuck. I will call out that shit. And when you act like a fucking weirdo online and you go at the women in the chat or you talk shit and you fucking body shame, what you're demonstrating to me is you're no different than these fucking weirdos. All you fucking need is the money and the power. If you fucking weirdos had the money and the power, you guys would be doing a lot of the shit that these motherfuckers are doing. Straight up. That's why I don't fucking like you. And you can talk all the shit you want about me. You guys can criticize me, fucking try to ridicule me. I don't give a fuck. But I'm not down with this fucking weird shit. Look, not calling out or going after a horrible person just because they're female is the most illogical retard shit. No scum gets a pass. Yeah, no scum gets a pass. That's right, CBD. More like pervert squad. That yeah, it's more like pervert squad. That is exactly right, Machete. But you don't know how many fucking governments do that shit. Obviously, the U.S. has done it too. What's good, Frank? What's up, Facto? That's that Papa's Frank. Yeah, we're talking that Papa's. You know what's up, man. It don't stop. We're gonna do this every day. I'm always gonna try to bring you guys content, things to think about, things to consider. Just because it's not happening in your backyard, just because it's not happening in your family, just because it's not happening in your tight knit fucking community, does not mean this shit is not happening and fucking thousands of and hundreds of thousands of women aren't going through it. They fucking are. You know, when these fucking idiots made a fucking stink about the ladies of exposed, oh, now they're getting women involved. Yeah, motherfucker. Because women have a voice, they have a mind, they have things to say, they've got their own point of view. And I, for one, as a grown ass fucking man, as an adult, as someone who has women in their life, women in my life, I've got my daughter, my wife, my sisters, my mother, my cousins, you know, neighbors, people that I love, friends, and family. Why would I not want to hear a woman's point of view? If you're so stuck on your fucking fear of being looked upon as a fucking weirdo, you should be more open to listening to a woman's point of view. Straight up, bitch. Machete, that was the name of Joker and Churro Hawk Dance competitive shower sharking team. Dub scene and gunner scene are the word. Yeah, bro, straight up. You know what's up, man. See, that's exactly right, Shankopotamus. We see that shit with our own eyes online on these YouTube streets. Frank Ticas. Dropping now. They're stacking papas, stacking papitas. Trip out Tuesday. You gotta trip out on that shit. Gotta trip out. Straight up. That's right, Shank. Shizangsta, Shanks. That's right, Chirps. Nice to see you, G Slaughter. Ah, Wendy's back. Baby girl Wendy, good to see you again. Good to see you too. You were at the beginning and you're gonna be at the very end because I'm almost out of here. That's right, Wendy. Nice to see you. Whenever these motherfuckers come out here try to put our mission into question, you got to point them out to videos such as this. We take what we talk about seriously, straight up. Many of us that are here, that are within the exposed to revolution, are parents. We're married. We've got families. Well, we have nieces. We have nephews, brothers and sisters, mothers, fathers. You name it. We're fucking complete families out here. You think your little fucking weirdo shit is gonna have an influence over what we do, bitch? Fuck no. But we got a lot of shit riding on just being truthful and delivering the truth every time we step up and we say we are the exposed to revolution. And I am one. And that's why when we put out content, we put out facts, we put out information. We want you guys to grow in knowledge. That's why my channel is called Dropping Knowledge. Because these are things that we sometimes have to trip out on. We have to trip out a little more. Don't be afraid of viewing something that you may consider weird or taboo. Learn about that shit. Don't let fear dominate you. The more you know, the more you learn, the better, the more apt you will be to take on the different things that life throws at you. Straight up. Straight up. Don't be myopic in your vision. Make sure it's sustainable and trip out on everything that you're observing. Trip out on it. Make sure that you know what's going on. That's right, Cali Big Dog Wendy, Cali Big Dog Facto. That's right. Nice to see you, Shank, Terps. Everybody that's in the house, thank you so much for supporting me. Thanks to everybody that's made, your gifts with the soccer balls and the sunshine. Thank you so much. Cali Big Dog, I appreciate you. Sunshine, I appreciate you. Everybody that's watching. I don't know if anybody has a question or has a comment. You can go ahead and jump on. I'm still going to be on a few more minutes. I see a young lady. Hello, Facto. Nice to meet you. All right, nice to see you guys. Thank you guys so much for showing up and for listening. Trip out on things. Take time to go into something totally different. You may be surprised as to what your soul and your mind is ready to receive. You may grow. It might be something that will make you grow, whether in knowledge, whether in love for others, understanding, empathy. These are things that we need to grow on to be more complete, more understanding, more intelligent as to what we do and the decisions that we make. That's why I'm going to continue dropping these videos, talking papas, to you daily. I want us to be able to always come together and bring everything to a thought process. Dubs and Gunner always subliminally, yeah, bro, grooming females. Bro, not only that, bro, but they body shame, man. They body shame constantly. That's some fucking way out shit. And I never gonna. And then these trolls do the same shit. They fucking body shame the women that are down with the exposed tube revolution, man. Fuck all of you. You guys demonstrate every day why people need to fucking put you in your place. If you guys had a little bit of power and a little bit of money, you guys would be doing the same sick weirdo shit that other motherfuckers have done. You guys just don't do it because you're afraid of getting caught up, of getting caught by your significant others, or you're broke as fuck and you can't do that shit. And you don't have the fucking power of authority to get shit popping. But some of you, all you guys need is a little bit more money, a little, a seat of authority, and you guys would be doing that weird ass shit that I'm talking about today. Don't be myopic, but try not to be neurotic. Hey, thanks so much, Kelly Big Dog. Another soccer ball, 20 joules. I still don't know what that means, so I gotta catch up. But thanks so much, man. You're gonna make me run around my chair, bro. That's right, baby. That's right, Facto Shank. So thanks so much for supporting, man. And we're gonna continue dropping content every day, exposing these fools, these weirdos, and I'm also bringing you guys, different points of view. And then we've got the collective where we do it similarly, right? And in that case, we have more of a conversation because people jump on. You guys know you can jump on my live as well, as long as you let me know. You put it in the chat, and it's kosher. It's all good. Don't be offended by how people fight for their rights. Why would you be offended by people fighting for their rights? Trust me, if they do it to any sector of the public, any part, if they're able to militarize their belief systems to suppress a certain people, trust me that your turn is going to come as well. If you're applauding people being suppressed because of your patriotic views or your religious views, don't get upset when that boot comes and steps on your neck. Because what you're applauding for is going to come back and bite you in the ass. Straight up. Frank, a lot of bootlickers who praise and defend indefensible behavior acts from the rich and powerful are delusional with hope their masters will notice them and bring them into the fold for their sub. Exactly. And because they want to be a part of it, they want to be a part of the depravity. That's what it is. Servience. That's correct. And I'm not down for that shit. Then I'm not going to disrespect anybody that's in the armed forces or whose children are in the armed forces. I hope God brings them back safely, alive, and healthy. But when we go and fight wars, well, we're fighting wars for the same people that use their power to fuck us over. They use their power to fuck over our children's future. They use their power and their belief system and their indoctrination to raise men that hate women because they want to put them in their place, because they're threatened by what a woman can do that they can't do. If you're a man, and I'm going to end with this. Thank you so much for everyone that's jumped on. If you haven't hit the like, please do so. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. I'm going to end with this. I'm going to say two things. If you blame immigrants for coming in to your country and for taking your jobs, how can an immigrant that hardly speaks your language take something that you should be prepared for? It's because maybe you're not prepared, bitch, and maybe you don't want it bad enough. And someone that's on the verge of hunger in another country is going to come in here and outshine your ass. What you should be doing is figuring out how to be better and more competitive on your own. If you can't go back to school, open up Google and research and do that shit. If you're not using technologies for your advantage to grow and to get better things, I don't know what to tell you. Straight up. I trip out on shit like that. I trip out on it. We have the computer, we have the internet at our disposal, and some people don't take any time to learn new things. That's why, I try to put new things out there in my videos, in my lives. So we can talk about this, get our juices flowing, get our brains to work, start really thinking about what we need to do to be able to maneuver through this life. And if we have children, to give them the best example. It don't stop. Frank Ticas dropping knowledge, stacking papas. When? On a trip out Tuesday. You got to trip out on shit sometimes. Take the time to trip out. Some people say take the time to smell the flowers. Sometimes you got to do that. Smell the coffee. Go outside, look at the sun, look at the sky, look at the trees. Look at behaviors, pay attention, be observant. Don't let other people dictate your beliefs and your thoughts, regardless of how aligned you are to their politics and their morals. Be your own person. Be your own person. They want people to be outraged that some billionaires fully insured outlet stores where they raise rent, displace local business, and fight to pay low wages gets damaged or vandalized. Boo fucking who. That's right, bro. That's right. That's why law enforcement just protects that. They don't give a fuck. Yeah, look in the mirror or a little higher up the chain to find out who's really fucking you over. Yeah, that's pretty much, bro. That's right, Hangman Stranger. That's right. Shout out to you, brother. Shout out to you. We're going to continue doing what we do. It don't stop. I dropped a short today. Please go watch it. Please hit the like. If you haven't already done so, hit the like on this video as well. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. We're going to continue dropping content, putting out videos, going live, talking papas every day like we did today, Trip Out Tuesday. We're going to hold on and live up to our vision and mission, our statement as the Exposed Tube Revolution. We're going to continue doing what we do. It don't stop. Shout out to everybody that was here, that's been in the chat participating, those that have donated. Thanks so much for your support. All of you that watched, all of you that hit the like, all of you that subscribed. I truly appreciate it. That's right, O Manor, DT fam. Unacceptable. That's right. I just want you guys to trip out on shit more, man. Trip out more on shit. Like things that maybe you might see interesting, but for some reason you don't, or click on that shit. It might help you. It might show you something. That's right, Fernando, El Manor, always a pleasure. All right, everyone. I'm gonna put a stop to this now. Shout out to everyone that's watching, everyone that supports me. We are the Exposed Tube Revolution. Shout out to ladies of Exposed Tube. Shout out to Taco Stain, Chirps, Sooners, Katie Frizzle, everybody in the house. Ghost, you already know. That's right, Facto. Nice to see everyone in the house. As you guys already know, the last thing I say is peace. Sometimes it doesn't come out, so you should know by now. When you see me do this, I say peace. That's what I say. Shout out to everyone. We will continue doing what we do. It don't stop. And until next time, peace.